The United States of America, having seen 46 presidents in its history, is on the verge of electing a new leader. As a global superpower with one of the world's most stable currencies, America has enjoyed.
Today, we journey through the history of Nigeria's past Central Bank of Nigeria governors, Roy Pentalo Fenton. Our story begins with Roy Pentalo Fenton, a British banker who became the first governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria in 1958. Fenton's role was foundational. He laid the framework from the institution and established policies to stabilize the newly independent nation's economy. Aliyu Mai Borno. In 1963, Aliyu Mai Borno became Nigeria's first indigenous governor. Mai Borno focused on building the Nigerian banking system and ensuring financial accessibility for citizens, helping to extend the reach of banking services across the country. Clement Young Isong. Clement Isong's tenure saw Nigeria through the Civil War era, maintaining economic stability despite great adversity. Known for prudent fiscal management, Isong introduced measures to safeguard Nigeria's reserve, which supported the economy during challenging times. Adamu Shiroma. Adamu Shiroma, the fourth CBN governor, implemented reforms that prioritized Nigeria's financial independence. His leadership advanced local financial policies and boosted Nigerian economic sovereignty during a period of rapid global change. Ola Vincent was instrumental in strengthening Nigeria's banking system. His policies were targeted towards achieving price stability and moderating inflation, helping lay the groundwork for a resilient banking sector. Abdul Qadir Ahmed. During Nigeria's economic challenges of the 1980s, Abdul Qadir Ahmed led the CBN for over a decade. His efforts included managing Nigeria's debt and implementing the Structural Adjustment Program (SAP), which had long-lasting effects on the Nigerian economy. Paul Onguma, the first governor under Nigeria's Fourth Republic, focused on reforms to modernize the financial sector, improving CBN's operational efficiency and enhancing regulatory oversight in a time of political transition. Joseph Sanusi ushered in the new millennium, initiating key banking sector reforms. His work focused on transparency and improving Nigeria's banking system, setting the stage for a more stable and robust financial environment. Charles Soludo's tenure marked a transformative period with his sweeping bank consolidation program, reducing the number of banks from 89 to 25. Soludo's initiative strengthened banks' capital base, making them more competitive on a global scale. Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, known for his outspokenness, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi introduced major reforms to curb corruption within the banking sector. His bold moves stabilized the sector and emphasized the importance of accountability and transparency. Godwin Emefiele. During Godwin Emefiele's tenure, Nigeria faced economic downturns caused by global oil price fluctuations and the COVID-19 pandemic. Emefiele's policies focused on stabilizing the naira, promoting local production, and launching various intervention programs to support small and medium enterprises. Folashodun Shonubi was appointed as acting governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria by President Bola Tinubu. He took charge in a period marked by digital innovation and pressing financial challenges. His focus includes advancing digital finance while working to further stabilize the economy. Yemi Cardoso. President Bola Tinubu on September 15, 2023, appointed Yemi Cardoso as the new Central Bank of Nigeria's governor. He has initiated several reforms to stabilize the naira and pay the backlog of international airlines trap funds. Each governor has navigated unique economic tides, shaping Nigeria's financial landscape in pivotal ways. As Nigeria looks towards the future, the legacy of these leaders endures, serving as both a foundation and inspiration for the next guardians of the Central Bank of Nigeria. However, it is baffling that despite Nigeria's strides, a woman has never held this critical office. Why? Structural barriers, deeply rooted gender biases, and cultural expectations have limited female representation in top financial positions. Although women like Sarah Alade serve as acting governor and prove capable, a full-time female governor has yet to be appointed. The absence of female leadership in this role is a reflection of broader challenges faced by women in Nigeria's financial sector. But as more women break barriers, perhaps it is only a matter of time before we witness the first woman as the Central Bank of Nigeria governor. A milestone that would echo far beyond the central bank, symbolizing progress and inclusivity in Nigeria's journey. Juvi Ufiene, SOUQ News TV.
Welcome to the Africa Development Studies Center, ADSC.
Hello and welcome to the news on SOUQ News Television. I am Oyin Priye Krumale. First, let's look at the headlines. Federal government to launch a youth enrollment portal. Mali enforces gold seizure amidst revenue push. A global market mixed as investors high United States inflation. And in sports, Super Eagles unveils Eric Chelle as head coach amid criticism. Now, grants and access support for building careers in agriculture, agro-allied industries, technology, and sports. The program aims to transform youth from job seekers into entrepreneurs. Minister Olawande praised the team's commitment to addressing unemployment and urged them to ensure the program delivers visible results. The launch event will include stakeholders from government, industry, and development partners. Now, the loading cost of premium motor spirit and other refined petroleum products at depot rose on Monday, marking a notable increase in response to soaring global crude oil prices. Marketers raised prices of petrol and diesel at depots by 4.74%, driven by Brent crude reaching $79.76 per barrel on Sunday. This escalation suggests that filling stations nationwide would soon adjust their pump prices to reflect these higher costs. Data collected on Monday revealed significant price hikes at several depots, ranging from 907 naira, 909 naira, and 910 naira last Friday to 950 naira as loading price. Other depots like Shell Plus surged to 960 from 908 naira and Chipet to 960 naira from 908 naira. NIPCO and Matrix Warri depots also adjusted their prices, highlighting a general uptrend in the industry. Diesel prices saw similar increases with Stock Gap, Ibeto, Sahara, NIPCO, and Optima depots all raising their prices to 1,150 naira per litre from previous levels, reflecting increases ranging from 72 naira to 100 naira per litre. Industry experts have commented on the situation, indicating that these depot price hikes are likely to translate into higher fuel costs for consumers in the near term, particularly for diesel. He noted that significant influence of Brent crude prices on the refining process and subsequent product pricing. Now, the Nigerian Stock Exchange Limited has launched the equity-based commodity index to track the performance of companies in energy, agriculture, mining, metals, and natural resources. Initial constituents include Geregu Power PLC, Multiverse Mining and Exploration PLC, Okomu Oil, Palm PLC, Presco PLC, Seplat Energy PLC, Transcorp Power PLC, and Aradel Holdings PLC, with an initial value set at 1,000. In its full-year market index review, the Nigerian Forex announced updates to its indices, including the entry of Ando, Transcorp Power, and Kun Oil, while companies like Guinness Nigeria, Sterling Holdings, and Flour Mills exited. These changes took effect on January 2, 2025. The indices designed using market capitalization methodology are rebalanced semi-annually in January and July. The CEO, Jude Chemaker, highlighted the exchange's commitment to innovation and market liquidity, positioning it as Africa's leading securities exchange. Head of Trading and Products Abimbola Babalola noted that the Nigerian Forex indices helped investors track market trends and manage portfolios effectively. Now, Chief Executive Femi Walsh Limited, Victor Oluwafemi, says the need to promote tourism is pivotal to ensuring robust economic growth and development. Oluwafemi made the remark in Lagos when he received a UK-based Nigerian entrepreneur, Alero Nkadi, who paid him a courtesy visit in the company of veteran broadcast journalist Julie Coker. The media executive emphasized the need for Nigerians abroad to invest in the country's economy, stating that unbiased participation in the country's socio-political activities will drive the desired growth. He also reiterated the need to develop the tourism sector in Africa, stressing that each African country has diverse tourism sites and cultural values that are waiting to be harnessed. In our remarks, Nkadi appreciated the management of Femi Walsh Limited, owners of SOUQ News Television and the Isle 104.9 FM, for championing the course of business, economy, and development broadcasting in Nigeria and Africa. She pledged our commitment to working with statutory authorities in business, trade, and investment for better business deals and engagement. Coming up, Mali enforces gold seizure amid a revenue push. We're back in a moment, to stay with us.
Development Studies Center, ADSC. ADSC is an organization focused on training and research to advance sustainable development and growth in Africa. We exist to facilitate customized training, research, and study exchanges worldwide on leadership, management, and critical development issues. The center offers a platform for the exchange of ideas and best practices. Our comprehensive services encompass research, consultancy, capacity building, training, and education programs, as well as publishing and disseminating development-related knowledge. Our faculty consists of experts and researchers with extensive experience in policy formulation, implementation techniques, and monitoring and evaluation. Our methodology involves talks, individual and group exercises, games, video screenings, and discussion seminar sessions in a cozy atmosphere, making learning enjoyable for our participants. For more information, email us at info@adstudycenter.com or call +234 912 039 2362. Visit our website at www.adstudycenter.com to learn more about our programs and upcoming events. Africa Development Studies Center, rethinking development for Africa.
Welcome back, and many thanks for joining us on the news. Now, Mali has enforced the seizure of gold stock from Barrick Gold's Lolo Gunkoto mine, targeting nearly 4 metric tons worth of $380 million. The move stems from Mali's effort to increase mining revenues under new regulations. Barrick has warned staff of a potential shutdown if restrictions on gold shipments persist. Gold accounts for over 80% of Mali's 2023 exports, making it a critical resource for the nation, Africa's second largest gold producer. The situation reflects a broader regional trend as West African nations led by the military governments renegotiate resources control and shift alliances away from traditional Western partners. Malian authorities have yet to comment, but reports suggest an arrest warrant for Barrick CEO Mark Bristow and staff detentions, raising tension further. Japan and China moved to improve bilateral relations. The Secretary General of the Japan's ruling party, LDP, Hiroshi Moriyama, has requested for China to abolish its import restriction of Japanese fisher product. He also requested for Beijing to secure the safety of Japanese nationals in China. The meeting between the two nations took place in Beijing, where Japanese attendants, the Secretary General of Komiito Makoto Nishida, and the LDP's party junior coalition partner. The head of the International Department of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee, Liu Jianchao, was in attendance as well. The two nations agreed in promoting a mutually beneficial relationship based on common strategies and interests, which is aimed at fostering cooperation in certain areas which both share common interests despite points of conflict. Now moving on, Brazil's central bank's economic policy director, Diogo Guilherme, stated that while the government is likely to meet the 2024 budget target, the country's fiscal outlook still requires attention due to rising debt projections. He raised concern about the uncertainties in achieving fiscal targets in the coming years. Guilherme mentioned that the central bank has signaled 100 basis point interest rate hikes at its next two policy meetings, responding to the less uncertain but more challenging economic environment. This follows the December hike, which brought the Selic rate to 12.25%. While acknowledging the impact of United States policies, Guilherme emphasized that local conditions, including resilient economic activity and fiscal stability, are playing a larger role in shaping Brazil's economic policies. He stressed that the coordination between fiscal and monetary policies is essential for managing inflation. Guilherme concluded by affirming that Brazil's policymakers are confident in their ability to reach the 3% inflation target, highlighting that the right tools are in place to navigate the current economic challenges. Now, Malaysia's palm oil industry is bracing up for the European Union's new anti-deforestation law set to take effect on December 30th, 2025. Deputy Commodities Minister Chang Fong Hin stressed the importance of adapting industry practices to meet the EU's environmental standards to maintain market access. The law, which targets products like palm oil, soy, and coffee beans import that contribute to deforestation. Companies selling these goods in the European Union must prove their supply chain are deforestation-free, despite concerns from Malaysia and Indonesia, the world's largest palm oil exporters. Minister Chan sees the law as an opportunity. He emphasized that understanding and complying with the law could help Malaysia lead in sustainable palm oil. By embracing these changes, Malaysia could secure its position in the global market while promoting forest conservation for future generations. Now, the British government announced today that they will be signing a mineral cooperation partnership with Saudi Arabia to help strengthen supply chains, create opportunities for British businesses, and attract investment into the UK. British Industry Minister Sarah Jones will lead a trade mission to Saudi Arabia along with 16 UK critical minerals companies interested in doing business in the Middle East. The new partnership will be signed at the Future Minerals Forum in Riyadh, where the companies will be exhibiting and offering their expertise to potential customers. The British government says the deal will form part of a broader industry strategy that will be key to both national security and its objective to boost economic growth and create jobs. The partnership also comes as British and Gulf Cooperation Council negotiators continue to talk this week about a free trade agreement. Saudi Arabia, which estimates the value of its untapped mineral resources at $2.5 trillion, is aiming to become a major global hub for critical mineral trade. Britain, on its part, needs to secure long-term supply of critical minerals, such as the copper, lithium, and nickel, which are used to make smartphones and electric cars, but are also vital to build data centers that help develop artificial intelligence systems. Now, the United Kingdom's government borrowing costs dropped slightly after hitting record high. The interest rate on long-term borrowing has fallen to 5.4%, offering temporary relief to Chancellor Rachel Reeves, as borrowing costs remain near their highest level in decades. The slight decline follows a week of rising rates, which have sparked concern about the government's ability to meet fiscal rules without further tax hikes or spending cuts. Analysts warn the UK remains under significant financial pressure, with international markets closely watching these trends. Experts warn that the borrowing cost could directly affect public spending and investment. Chancellor Reeves continues to face challenges as the economy navigates their uncertain times. Now, global markets mixed as investors eye United States inflation. This and other stories coming shortly. Do stay with us.
Success story, except it didn't happen overnight.
I'm happy to be here. One of the key things about the Omniverse is that it's designed to go beyond an event and designed to be fully something that people can engage beyond the summit. The point being that Nigeria has so much to bring to the world in terms of these things, but we will be bringing fresh energy, fresh ideas, a fresh engagement, and we're obviously open to collaboration. But hip-hop, it never dies. What's the difference between Thor and Shango? Thor is approaching $50 billion in revenue. Shango's broke somewhere outside Lagos. And that's a lack of imagination on our part, Africa, and they're all Nigerian. So to be seen and to be noticed is very hard. if you're not in the place where all the noise is being made.
Welcome back. Now, European and United States futures hinted at modest gains on Tuesday, but spiking bond yields and a strong dollar kept investors cautious ahead of key U.S. inflation data and the start of Donald Trump's second term as United States president. NASDAQ 100 futures climbed 0.5% in Asia trading, while the S&P 500 futures rose to 0.3%. European futures gained 0.8% and the FTSE futures remained steady. However, Japan's Nikkei dropped by 1.8%, hitting a 6-week low as concerns over a potential Bank of Japan rate hike and pressure on chip stocks weighed on sentiment. The Bank of Japan Deputy Governor Ruizo Himino signaled the possibility of a rate hike during the upcoming policy meeting on January 24. Further unsettling markets. Meanwhile, United States export restrictions have pressured chip makers globally, though Chinese manufacturers rallied on expectations of domestic market gains and potential state support. China's Shanghai Composite surged 2.5%, marking its best day since November 7, while Hong Kong tech spares jumped by over 3%. Investors' focus remained on Wednesday United States inflation data, with a rise in the core figure beyond the forecasted 0.2%, potentially eliminating the hopes of Federal Reserve rate cuts this year. Benchmark 10-year Treasury yields fixed at 4.76% after peaking at a 4.805%, the highest since November 2023. Now, with markets pricing only 29 basis points of Fed cuts for 2025, investor sentiment remains cautious as inflation and interest rates remain decisions for long large. Meanwhile, recent increase in natural gas and crude oil prices have been projected to jeopardize the Eurozone's inflation outlook and push the regional economy into stagflation. Stagflation is a period of economic distress characterized by high inflation, stagnant economic growth, and elevated unemployment. Both crude oil and natural gas prices have soared amid increasing energy demands and new United States sanctions on Russia. Benchmark natural gas futures at the New York Mercantile Exchange rose to 4.280 euro per million British thermal units, before retreating yesterday as crude oil futures, including West Texas Intermediate and the Brent, surged to their highest level since August 2024. However, the elevated energy prices posed significant risk to the Eurozone's economy, particularly the manufacturing sector, as European nations grapple with political uncertainties 1 week ahead of Donald Trump's inauguration as President of the United States. Also, surging energy prices could complicate the inflation outlook in the European region, amplifying the crisis experienced when Russia launched aggression against Ukraine in 2022. The European Central Bank is also likely to face the challenges in balancing economic growth with mounting inflationary pressures this year. Financial losses incurred in the ongoing California wildfire will not be restricted to only United States companies and properties. Analysts from Europe's foremost investment bank, Berenberg, reveals major European reinsurance companies are likely to be hit with significant losses amounting to approximately 980 million euros. According to the data, Swiss reinsurance is expected to face a loss of about 160 million euros, while Munich reinsurer could be hit with losses approximately 220 million euros. Similarly, Hanover Reinsurance could suffer a loss of around 180 million euros, with SOUQ Commercial de Reassurance potentially losing 50 million euros. These losses have also reflected in the share price, listing of Swiss, Munich, Hanover, and reinsurance companies as Swiss reinsurance share price dropped by 1.3% on Monday, 13th January, with Munich reinsurance share price also of the same range. The share price of Hanover and reinsurance companies also plummeted to 3.06% and 1.9% respectively on Monday. However, Berenberg analysts highlighted that the losses are expected to fall within the significant loss budgets set aside by reinsurance, a provision that could affect the 2025 company earnings. If losses end up being more than previously anticipated by the budgets, then the current California wildfire have destroyed thousands of acres of land and structures, leaving 24 people dead so far and thousands more made homeless. And now to sports. The Nigerian Football Federation has unveiled Franco-Malian Eric SOUQ Chele as the new and 37th head coach of Nigeria's senior national football team, the Super Eagles. He was presented to journalists at a press conference held at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja on Monday. According to the NFF, the new coach is expected to work with 5 assistants, 3 from his side and 2 from the NFF for a period of 2 years, subject to extension. Chele, whose appointment was greeted with widespread re-instances, and criticisms by Nigerian football fans and pundits, will lead the home-based Super Eagles at the upcoming 2024 African Nations Championship.
West,
Now, Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, President of the NFF, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, the Technical Committee, members of the NFF, led by the Technical Director, Augustin Aguavon, and several chairmen of the state FAs participated in the occasion. Now, that's the news on SOUQ News Television. I am Oyin Priye Krumale. Many thanks for watching.
At Femi Wash Media, call it the Midas touch, and you wouldn't be wrong. Let us record, produce, mix, and master your audio like nobody does. Reach us on our contact today for the best quality job.